fellow Toastmasters. So first, where, where, Mom, where are you? Oh, I have her photo here. I will. This is my mother, my beautiful mother, Maria Esther Salazar. She passed away in 2020, and I always think of her and remember her. This past Thanksgiving, my sister invited me over for Thanksgiving dinner. While we were there, we were sharing stories, but she presented me with this lovely tribute. First, she has a lovely poem. Dear Mom in heaven, I sit here and I ponder how very much I'd like to talk with you today. There are so many things that we didn't get to say. I know how much you care for me. I know how much I care for you. And each time that I think of you, I know you'll miss me too. An angel came and took you by the hand and said, your place was ready in heaven far above. And you had to leave behind all those you dearly loved. You had so much to live for, you had so much to do. It still seems impossible that God was taking you. And though your life on earth is past, in heaven it starts anew. You will live for all eternity, just as God has promised you. And though you walk through heaven's gate, we are never far apart. For every time I think of you, you're right here deep within my heart. As we were sharing stories, my sister and I, and she showed me that poem, I had a tear in my eye because every time I think about her, I would tend to think about the bad that I did. I wasn't the greatest kid. I was a troublemaker. Got in trouble since I was little, and my mom had to deal with that. And looking back on that, I could see that she did a lot for me, and she did a lot for the family. One of the things that she did, and it was the stories that were sharing, was a Thanksgiving years ago where there was only we only had one turkey, so two turkey legs. My niece came, and she was younger at the time, and she took one of the turkey legs. But I always would always get a turkey leg, so I just assumed the other one is mine. My older brother came to visit, and he said, "Oh, I always get the turkey leg." "Oh no, I always get the turkey leg," and we fought to the point where my mom had to go out to the store to HEB and she bought single turkey legs so we all could have one. And as I was remembering that, I was thinking that I had graciously given up the turkey leg to my brother, but my niece reminded me, no, you got mad and said I don't want to eat. So grandma had to go and buy all these legs for us. And that sounds about right. And that was one of the many stories. I would also be looking back. I was thinking about a story when my mother had shared with me when she was younger, when she was maybe about 11 or 12. Her dog passed away. My mom really loved dogs. And her dog passed away. So, what she understood when someone passes away, you mourn, you dress in black. So, she was walking around her house dressed in black, and everyone was saying, oh, she's in mourning today. And she would come and greet everyone as if she had just lost someone very close to her, which, her dog was her best friend. But that was her little funeral. And that's just like a small part of what my mom was. She was very compassionate. She's very giving. I remember when she started to charge me rent, and at first I probably fought it. Why should I pay rent? But you know, what she would do was that she would take part of the rent. She would pay bills, but she also take a part. And when I needed money, she would give it back to me. and that kept me from splurging all the time. And that was just like one of the things that's just what a great mother she was to me, and to my brothers, to my sister, and to everyone around her. The whole neighborhood went to her and sought advice from her. She would have garage sales, and, and so she would buy clothes and sell them. But if there was a family that didn't have money and they needed clothes, she would gladly donate that and give that to them. So that's something I try to live by, that example. One of the other stories I was thinking about today, actually, I think I have a photo here. So I was part of a church choir one Christmas year, and that's me there. So we had to wear red ties. I think at the time I didn't have a red tie. I had some old ties. What my mother did, she got one of my older ties, used it as a template, and made me this tie. And she made ties for some of my friends. This one in particular, he didn't believe. He was like, "No, she didn't make it. That's a professional looking tie." I was like, "No, yes, my mom made it." And that's just a lot of the stories that I think about now. And so I can remember and look back, think on the positive. Because I also remember after she passed away, at first I did everything that I was supposed to do. I helped with the funeral and I gave a little speech, but I still had guilt. During her last days, I tried to be there with her, and I didn't get the chance to formally apologize to her and ask for forgiveness for being such a bratty kid. So after a few days after the funeral, maybe it was like a few months, but I was praying. I've been praying for days, and I just wanted to know, God, I just want to know, where is she? Where is she right now? Mother, where are you? Was pretty much what I was saying. My friend, who was he's still living in Chetumal. He's a pastor there. He texts me. He sends me a little video, a song called "If I Had a Phone, I Would Make a Call to Heaven." And I told him, like, "Dude, you're gonna make me cry." And he says, "God is sending you a message that your mom is with him. So, mother, where art thou? She's in heaven."